Welcome into the Echo Sportscast, number 87.
I'm Jackson Bowl.
And I'm Ben Sargent. NDA Baseball saw the Trojans and Bears play a tightly contested game Wednesday afternoon at Veterans Field that had high tensions all the way to the final out as the Bears look to defeat the reigning champions.
Shifting gears to the NDA soccer, most of the playoffs were completed this week. We have updates and results for that going into the finals next week.
We also have updates from the NDA track and field meet, as well as the Threes League that just completed its second week of regular season action.
All of that on the way and more after a word from our title sponsor, Source for Sports.
It's almost that time of year. Early mornings at the rink, fresh notebooks and backpacks, and a community gearing up for another great season of varsity sports. At Source for Sports North Bay, we're proud to be part of it all. Whether it's finding your kid's first pair of skates, gearing up for tryouts, or outfitting your team for the season ahead, we've got you covered. Because here, we're not just a sports store, we're neighbors, coaches, teammates, and fans. And we're proud to cheer you on every shift, step, and stride of the way. Visit Source for Sports North Bay at 1321 Fisher Street and let us help you along your way. So Wednesday afternoon on a gorgeous day after a bit of a rainy day on Tuesday. No softball for us, unfortunately, but hardball was being played, and it was being played on a gorgeous Wednesday afternoon at Veterans Field, where the West Ferris Trojans squared off against the Scollard Hall Bears. Of course, the Trojans just last week were walked off by the Algonquin Barons to start the season off, and they are looking for some redemption this time against their rivals, the Scollard Hall Bears. And it was a very, very tight game. It was the Trojans who went up by a few runs, 3 or 4 runs heading into the final inning, when all of a sudden Scollard started to put on the pressure a little bit. They ended up getting a couple of runs in, stole some bases, loaded them up, and then at the very end, it was a bit of a pitching change and a strikeout to end the game as West Ferris takes down Scollard Hall in a very, very tightly contested game. Maybe it's a preview of what we'll see in the finals as West Ferris getting back on the right track in the baseball world. Chippewa and Mattawa were playing right after that, and I wasn't able to stay because I had to come back here to record, but it was a great start for... It was a great day for baseball. Number one, it was gorgeous. And number two... How can you complain when it looks like it's going to be an easy game, and it's never easy when you go into the bottom of the ninth?
Yeah, I mean, defending champs, dropping the first game 8-7 to Algonquin, and then coming back and playing at least once this week, and beating their rival Scollard in another tight one. Like, that's great for the league. That's great for baseball. That's great for coverage.
Yeah, it actually turned out to be really nice, but. The one thing that I found really interesting was the amount of stolen bases. And I don't know if it's because they play at Veterans and it's I feel like it's a bigger field. I would imagine it's compared to maybe to the Omichelle ones. I haven't been to the Omichelle fields in a long time, but Veterans is a pretty big ball field. And that's where men's leagues play. And it was a lot of stolen bases. A lot of guys, you could tell that it's going to be hard for some of those catchers to throw them out.
Yeah, like you got to have a quick time receiving the ball, pumping it, and then throwing it against the runner who is often no slouch. And I don't know what distance they play the bases, but I'm guessing between 80 and 90.
It's got to be 90.
Yeah, so if 90 feet is like home to 2 is a far throw.
Do you want to do the math?
It's probably 127.
Probably
ish,
something like
so.
that. There was one a bit of a controversial. I was thinking contentious. That was the word I was thinking. A bit of a contentious play that happened. It was a stolen base at third where the tag went in. West Ferris thought he was out. The umpire disagreed. And classic baseball where you just have to. There is no review. Yeah. There's no challenges. You just got to kind of take it, but. What I thought was interesting was Ferris looked really strong, but then Scollard was coming back very similar to Algonquin, where Algonquin ended up walking off West Ferris last week. Here it looked like it might be the same kind of idea because they started the inning around, so there's no new inning after an hour 45. They started this inning around, I want to say it was like this half of the inning, around like 3:30. And it ended at like 3:25. So it was a long one. They didn't have a chance to play another inning after that. So it's really good to see
the competitiveness of the league between Algonquin and between Scollard for what we've seen. Now, whether that's West Ferris maybe regressing slightly, or it's baseball, like a lot of things happen. Maybe it's a little bit of a regression, but either way, that disparity in the league is not quite there. Chippewa takes a bit of a step backwards. We talked about that off camera before we went on air, and it looks like it might be, because I haven't seen the standings and I haven't seen like everybody play, but it looks like it could potentially be a West Ferris, Scollard, Algonquin dominated league. But I haven't seen Franco play either, so I'm not too sure how they're doing.
I think Franco is also going to be strong. I definitely think it's those 4 teams in the semifinals. And at the moment, all we can say is everybody sort of beat everybody. So it's hard to say who's going to come out on top. But yeah, I do think it'll be those 4 teams to be the last 4 for sure.
And it's not, again, we talked about not being a long season. I think their finals are in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So you got to assume the playoffs are probably 2 weeks away, very much like soccer.
Well, and it gets weird, too, with pitch counts. If you're playing multiple times in a week, or when does the pitch count reset and all that, rain days, all that crap, I guess. And so, Ferris could have lost that game if they had to play yesterday or Tuesday, who knows?
I think I saw that the Franco game was rained out yesterday. But then I swear, when I was driving home, people were playing there. I think it was the second game got rained out.
Yeah, but the first game played, maybe?
The first game didn't. So yeah, the makeup games, then those people who are playing like soccer or who have to deal with like playoffs, and it is a sprint in May. Like, you just have to try to get 2 sports in a very, very short period of time. But it was nice to see baseball back. High school baseball is in a pretty good spot, because it's actually, I would say that it is maybe it's kind of like rep baseball, because you're not really competing with anything that early on in the season. A lot of the people who come in are probably playing Panthers, playing club baseball afterwards. So they're not, unlike like NDA hockey, like they're not really competing with anything. So you usually get some really, really good baseball players.
Yeah, and every kid gets good quality reps, and if you're playing Panthers or whatnot, you might not be the brightest star, but if you come on your high school where all the players are spread out, you could be a shining star on your high school team.
Or you could be like me and have literally like all Ontario players on our team. Did you play baseball, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
In high school?
We went all the way to the final and then lost in got mercied by Scollard in the play at home where you had to video review it, and you brought the video in.
We did?
Yeah, with Dave Sad and
that was your team?
Yeah, Chippewa and Scollard, yeah.
Oh, that's right. That would have been your team, yeah. Yeah, okay. So I keep forgetting that you went, you're wearing a Chippewa sweater. For some reason that didn't click, and I was like, but I guess because you would have played like 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting. So, okay, can we get into this a little bit here?
Sure.
Because now that I have some inside info here, what was, so I think what happened was you guys were called out, but you thought you were safe.
Yeah,
Were you the one at home plate?
No.
Okay.
No. I wasn't. So going into that game, there's an NDA rule where you only have to play one side of the ball. So going into that game, they were like, yeah, you're only playing defense.
Were you a better defender than you were?
100%.
Oh, so there's a little bit. %. So are you still holding a grudge on this?
No.
Because when you played,
I'm a better defender than I wanted to hit. Everybody trusts themselves, but I was not going to throw a fit at the field.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I was not going to protest it.
Well, I will say, when you played for us in softball, you did get you hit like triples every time.
Well, softball, I can hit.
Hardball is a little different. Yeah. So when that play happened, what was the feeling? Because that was like the end of the game, wasn't it?
Pretty close. Well, we ended up getting mercied, but that was definitely the beginning of the end, because we had a few ejections and the wheels fell off the wagon in a hurry. But yeah, it was still early, still close. I think it could have been anybody's game. Like, we were in the finals for a reason.
Yeah.
So,
well, that's a little piece of news I did not know.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting note. How did you guys do while you were there? Just over the course of your career?
We won one title. Algonquin had a pretty good hold on it for a while, though. And then we lost in the final.
At Agnico Eagle, we are committed to being a trusted community partner, focusing our efforts on building a local economy that lasts for generations. Our careers offer the flexibility and ample downtime needed to find lifelong balance. We strive to be a good neighbor, investing in our people and their future, not just because we operate here, but because this is home. We make mining work.
The snowmobile is parked. The ice is melted. And suddenly, all those batteries you ignored all winter are no longer working. The boat just won't start. The ATV's not cooperating. Even the golf carts decided it's taking the season off. That's where Battery North Bay comes in. Boats, ATVs, motorcycles, e-bikes, solar systems, cordless tools, even the kids' Power Wheels. If it runs on a battery, chances are we've got it in stock and ready to go. We're locally owned, proudly serving Northern Ontario, and we ship Canada-wide. Stop by 1315 Main Street West or call 705-478-5400. Battery North Bay, powered up for every season. So the NDA soccer playoff semifinals, it was varsity girls, Chippewa squaring off against West Ferris, and the Ravens came out with a few early goals in the opening 20 minutes as they would go on to dominate the Trojans en route to a 7-1 victory as they punched their tickets to the finals to face off against Algonquin, who actually upset Scollard Hall in the other semifinal 2-0. The final is set for early next week, but we are still waiting to hear confirmation on time, date, and place. The boys, I couldn't get any concrete results for their semifinal games, so for anybody with information on the boys' side, please leave it in the comments. We do have some results from the NDA's track and field meet that took place this past week from Franco Cite. Some individual results. You had Esme Bigris, who got first in long jump, second in triple jump, and third in the 100-meter. Dania Lalonde got second in javelin, third in discus, and fourth in triple jump. And Noah Bazinet was third in javelin and third in discus. From Algonquin, they had a couple of big finishes here. Dane Meyer had 3 first-place finishes in senior boys, including high jump, which was a new record, long jump, and triple jump. Anne Acoma had 2 first-place finishes in triple jump and high jump in senior girls. Alexi Carey had 2 first-place finishes in 1,500 meter and 3,000 meters in junior girl. And Emmett Reed had 2 first places in the 1,500 and 3,000 meters in junior boys.
Something a little different on the show this week. The North Bay Threes League finished their second week recently, and we have a whack ton of updates from that, starting with Outlaws, Elite, Ankle Breakers, and Silver City Slashers all walked away with perfect 2-0 records, while the Wildcats, Golden Gators, Milk Buckets, and Rim Reapers each added big wins of their own. The Ball Hogs, Outlaws Rec, and Parental Advisory will look to bounce back next week after going 0-2. And the Ankle Breakers were involved in 2 of the funnest finishes of the week, including an OT battle with the Milk Buckets.
Well, a little bit better than Lugwag, right?
Oh, way better.
Where
different. Similar.
Well, I was telling you off air, Mike DePel's on my softball team, he played in the Threes League last year.
Yeah.
Was part of that Humble Fumblers team. We were kind of laughing about your disdain towards flag football and you didn't take it, but I will say, like, it is, yes, it's spring, there's not a lot going on, but I will say this, the Threes League is really fun basketball. I had a lot of fun covering it on I think it was back in March when they had their tournament and stuff. Really fun basketball to watch, and games are every Thursday starting at 6 p.m. down at the waterfront courts. Highly recommend going to check them out. I think they have, if you go to their Instagram, just under Threes, I think it's like Threes League _ or just search Threes League, you'll find it. They now have a website and everything. Perfect. So you can see all the scores and schedules and everything like that. And they do these great little Instagram posts, which is what we had on screen with these write-ups. So it was just kind of a fun thing to put in there. If you've never seen 3-on-3 basketball, it's worth checking out. I don't know. You love it.
No, I think I do love it. 3-on-3 is way more fun, and it's sort of like, it's one of those sports where you have to have a certain level of skill. Like, you don't have to, but you have to. And so it's good. It's not super high level, but it's good basketball that you're watching. And if they're starting to keep this level of stats, I think it gets even better.
It's like really, banana ball level of, it's not it is a serious, because they have money. Like, you can win money there. So it's actually one of those things, I think, that people underrate it.
Yes.
Especially when it comes to playing it, because like I have to pay to, you usually have to pay to play sports at like pretty much every single level. And here it's like you still pay to play, but you have the opportunity to win. And what they do over there, like we've had them on the show multiple times, and just recently for that March tournament, and like the work that they're doing on there is fantastic. So definitely worth checking out, registering if you're into that. And it's just really fun to watch because the balls are slightly smaller, and so people like. Maybe this is just after watching a lot of NBA basketball where you see a lot of people go down and then they miss the layup at the end, and you go, that would have been a perfect shot, and you didn't get the layup. Or they fire a three because they're younger, they're in high school. Whereas here it's nice because it's they're older, they're adults, maybe they have a little bit more experience, and the smaller ball makes for a lot more swishes.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot crisper, and you're not getting like the bench pieces for NDA high school teams. The kids who like want to continue and play are like the best 2 kids, or 2 to 3 of the team's best kids, and so it's super crisp. It's flashy.
Yeah, I guess because when you consider, I guess you could say this almost up until like university, you maybe only have, you have 5 players on the court at a time, but you also only have like, as you said, probably 2 or 3 really good players.
Yeah.
At that level, that would be like probably go on to play at a higher level, like a club level, at a time. And that's if you're a really good team, right? Like when you look at the Chippewas and the Ferrises and like those teams. So it's fun. And the nice thing is like it's a lot faster paced, because with 5-on-5 basketball, it's a lot of setup. You have the shot clock. Whereas here it's a faster shot clock, and it's pretty much just like trying to get footage of it was hard, because if you take your eye off of it, you miss like 3 baskets.
Yeah, the defense and the setup, like there's no screens or switches. Like if you get beat, you're getting dunked on. Like yeah, and that's it.
And they do a lot of threes, a lot of perimeter shooting. It's honestly super fun, and it's just a fun vibe. It's like they've got music, and it's just a fun vibe. Yep. So highly recommend it. One last piece of club sports news we got sent to us was the Nipissing District Soccer Club. The Lakers U16 team had a couple of games to start their season. Of course, they play against some teams from down south. In their first game, they played Markham. They ended up winning 8-1. So a big win for them. And then their second game of the year, they rolled to a 6-0 win over Newmarket. So congratulations goes to the U16 Lakers, who are getting their season. It's like the iModel qualifying league, I think is what the name of the league is. But congratulations to the U16s, as they, I know we have a very strong soccer program here, and the Lakers do a great job, both in hockey and in the soccer world. And it's good to see us being able to go against people from down south and steamrolling them on the women's side, which is really cool to see.
That's fantastic. I don't know if it's just a strong group of athletes, or like a well-developed program all the way up from U9 or U7, or a combination of both. And that's amazing to go down there and like not being on the receiving end to do the dish out the damage.
Yeah. And unless we're talking about badminton, it doesn't happen too often.
No. Well, that's true.
All right. Well, that's pretty much most of what we've got. As always, if you have any information, any additional scores or context or anything else you want to shoot our way, you absolutely can do that. You can send it to my email, ben@northbayecho.ca. You can also send it over to our socials under LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. Please don't send us messages on TikTok because I probably won't see them. But Facebook, Instagram, underneath the moniker North Bay Echo, or again, you can reach out to me via email as well. And because it's always nice to hear back from people and make sure that we get the right information, because we can only find what we can find, and we can only get the information we can get the information of. So if you're watching this and you go, that's not right, please let us know so we can get the stuff right, because it makes my life a little bit easier. So that was Sportscast number 87.
I'm Jackson Bowl.
And I'm Ben Sargent. Thanks so much for sharing, and subscribing, and we'll see you next Friday for another edition of the Echo Sportscast.